hit that club, y'all. Bella Flame. About to come in the club with IMG. My brothers was finna take y'all bitches. Yeah. Oh, come on. Bella, with the screen when I enter. About shit, BBG, represent. I need a section and some ones. And a cool boss, niggas no thugs. No. We ain't worried about nothing. For a nigga, we ain't worried about nothing. We don't need no security. IMG in the motherfucking building. I'm a female shot caller, top listed author. People say I'm cute and bossy. Worry about the money, never worry about the bitch.
Good evening and happy Tuesday. Welcome to Miscommunications Talk Podcast. I am your host, Queen Gemini. And I have some special guests in the building with me today. If you would go ahead and like to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, it is Your Wishes Sharisse, event architect and brand manager here, ready to be here with Miss Gemini.
And we also have another special guest. Could you go ahead and introduce yourself?
What's happening in the world, man? This is your man, Senor Parker, aka Mr. Parker, man. Your auntie favorite nephew, man. You know what I'm talking about? Kicking it with Miss Gemini. What's happening, baby?
What's going on, everybody? And we also have our infamous DJ Lab in the building. What's going on?
Always. What's going on? How y'all doing today? Y'all all good? Everybody good?
We good.
Everybody settled in?
We good.
Everybody ready to talk shit?
Yeah,
All right.
definitely ready.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Well, we're gonna do a little different today. We're gonna do a little girl talk with a twist of comedies today. So yeah, we're gonna get into some relationship talk today.
Okay.
Relationship talk. You know, sometimes relationships can be difficult. They can be tough. Can be rough. Sometimes you can say, I'm in love, and then sometimes you be like, fuck that nigga. So,
Most
yeah.
definitely.
But, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. My girl reached out to me and said she's ready to tell her story.
I am.
So, yeah, so.
She didn't tell it last time she was here?
No, last time she was here, we just talked about her event planning business. So, you know, it's a little different today.
Okay.
So,
Let me know something.
yeah, it's a little different today. So,
Okay.
yeah. But before we get into that, how was everyone's week so far? Today is Tuesday, so how was your week, your weekend, and stuff like that?
It's been pretty good. I'm so excited. I've been thinking I made the right move. This weekend has been so full of life and just exciting, and there's been so many opportunities. And then my good boy Senor hit me up and said that he was in town. So I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead. You come with me to this podcast because I'm gonna need it.
How was your weekend?
Listen, I just got back in town a few days ago, and y'all ain't changed. That's what I know. Y'all ain't changed. The traffic's still the same. The hills are still up there. The play's still red.
Right.
The YNs is YNing out here, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know what? I love it. It's home. You know what I'm saying? And it feels good to be back home. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of all this misfitness, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Right.
This is insane, but I still love it, man. So it's been a great week, and I'm glad to be with my girl Sharisse.
Well, thank you, and welcome to the show. Live, how was your week?
Weekend was okay. Slick was sick on Saturday. Super sick. He's still sick today, but just regular stuff, shows. Yeah, that's it.
Well, my weekend was okay. It was kind of quiet. I had to do some school shopping. I thought I'd get ahead of the game. And
Okay. When does school start back?
School starts back August the 4th.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I was like, let me do something different this year instead of procrastinating way to the last minute. I was like, let me go ahead and get this little shopping out the way.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too.
Me too.
Cause I'm definitely one of them last minuters. Like we all in the store fighting over a school book. So yeah. But I got it out the way. So I'm just ready for them to go back to school now, so I can have a full refrigerator again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But yeah.
That's always the kicker right there.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna get into how Miss Sharisse
Yes.
is navigating to her new season gracefully and unbothered.
Unbothered.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get into this. So I do have a title. I never name my shows. I never title my shows because I'm always talking about off the wall stuff.
Right.
But today I decided to title my show Unbothered, Healing Out Loud.
Woo! Yes, girl.
All right.
That's what the name of the show is today, is Unbothered, Healing Out Loud. So
Love that.
just got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
So as you're transitioning, how are you feeling stepping into this new season?
Whew. That's a good question. How am I stepping into this full season, this new season? I'm coming in knowing what I deserve, knowing my worth. Also, just being mindful, honest, authentic, loving, never gonna stop being a soft girl. Love the soft girlies. But I'm coming into the season like fully aware and just I have such an excitedness about life, a little zest about life, way more so than I have before.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you were transitioning into getting to know you better and things like that, because relationships sometimes can bring the worst out of us. It can bring the good out of us. It could be a learning lesson. It could be a lesson where you're like, you know what? That was some stupid ass shit.
Yes.
But I'm glad you're, coming out on top and not letting it overshadow your life. You're taking the negative and turning it into a positive. So
Yes.
I'm happy about that. When you hear the word unbothered at this moment, what does that mean to you?
Girl, I ain't worried about nothing. Okay?
Okay.
I'm not finna let nobody stress me, press me, or try to impress me. Okay? I feel like being unbothered is where I needed to be all along. I've always had that energy, that je ne sais quoi within my soul, but now it's being full manifested because there's nothing holding me back. There are no secrets, like, because last time I was on here,
Right.
honey, I was living a lie. I was living a lie, and I was not being as honest as I could have, or as giving and open as I could have been.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know what? Now that things are clearing up, let me just be me. Cause what you finna do about it?
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Slick said, cause she had a IG names. IG. Can y'all get
Y'all want to
IG
go ahead and
names
shout out y'all IG name?
real quick so we can put it in the description?
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, yeah. My Instagram is AYE Mr. Parker. So it's AYEMISTER Parker. And if you can't spell Parker, then that's your problem. So,
And I am wish.unbothered. Yes, you can follow me at wish.unbothered or my events page at YWS_events.
Okay. All right. So you recently just came through a chapter in life, and I don't know if you want to go into detail. That's completely up to you. But if you want,
we can do a little slide, a little.
okay.
dip.
So if you want to give us a little brief description or summary of what you just came out of, go ahead and just tell us about that, and then we'll get into the next part. So if you want to go ahead and just tell us a little bit.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And I just want to say, like, it is truly a blessing to be able to be on the opposite side of life and be able to share my story with other women, other men who have been through or are going through or are unaware of what they are in. So a little bit about me is I am an event planner, have been an event planner for a few years. I just happened to come across this field, and I have loved it. So that brings me to how I met Mr. And I'm gonna say Mr. to because it's there are certain things I just can't discuss right now, but in the eventually I'll be able to share more things.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I've been in the comedic circle, working with different comedians and doing my events. And as I was leaving, Throw It Off Juan, shout out to Juan, We left a business meeting, and I ended up meeting Mr. in traffic.
Okay.
The light didn't change. I had given him a fake number, but the light didn't change.
Okay.
So he called it immediately and realized that it was a fake number. So then I gave him my real number, which I never do. And so I was kind of blowing off Mr. for a little while because I was entertaining someone else, as we do. And he just kept applying pressure. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just give him a shot. You know, like it's like maybe I should just go for it. Ended up giving him a shot, and things just progressed. Things just progressed. I mean, it was that whole love, happy marriage, happy life, all of those good feelings in the very beginning. I remember telling you about him and just being like, girl, I think he's the one.
Right.
Yeah, I thought he was the one, and found out that he was the one I should have missed.
The one that you wish the light would have turned green on.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. So we were in a relationship for about 7 years.
Okay.
He was around for my startup with the comedians back on Whitehall Street. Is where I met Senior Parker.
Okay.
He was one of my first clients, along with Juan. He was out here just doing his big one, so I think it was important for him to come on this journey with me now. But
Okay.
so Mr. was along with me during that journey, and at the time I really thought he was just being like, you know, super supportive, you know, like a take charge kind of person. I was a boss in my own right.
Right.
I thought that he just was one of the type of persons that just wanted to make sure that I was good and everything was moving smoothly. You know, we went out a couple of times, and you'd come out to the club and saw me work, and he's been there. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is a match made in heaven. And I quickly found out, like,
It wasn't.
it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't a match made in heaven. I got blessed with our beautiful daughter very quickly in our relationship, and she's been the best thing that's happened in a long time.
So, make a long story short,
Yeah.
now Mr. is no longer in the picture.
No.
So that chapter is closed.
Close. Done.
Completely. So what you thought was a fantasy turned out to be your worst.
It
nightmare.
wasn't. It was. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad that, like I said, you overcame that. How are you handling your healing journey now? Like, what are you doing to be like, I'm choosing me. I'm doing this for me.
Well, that's just such a great question, because it really took me a long time to get to this point. You know, for a long time, I did not believe, honestly, that I was in an abusive relationship. I was in therapy. I had my close friends, and there was just no thought that ever came into my mind that I was in an abusive situation. I thought everyone was being too hard on him, and maybe I was doing too much, and it took me a while to get to this point. So now, with therapy, throwing myself into work, leaning on my friends and family, I found the strength to go ahead and just focus on myself, really. Like, I will never sell myself short again. But it took me a while to get here. It did.
That's good. I'm glad. Well, you already know how I felt about
Right.
Mr.
Oh, sis was not playing, okay? Sis was like, you need to get away from him. There's something about him. I just don't know. And I'm just steadily like, girl.
Because when I don't like to, comment on people's relationship situations, because I feel like that's not my place.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say it was something. Okay, so everybody know I grew up a PK, heavily in church. When I got older, I still go to church, but I still club at the same time.
Hello.
So God is still working on me. So
Two can be true at the same time, baby.
But I knew that when you looked at this individual, it was just like dark. It was just like, yeah, no, I don't feel it. Like every time that person came around, my soul was like unsettled, and it was just like, yeah, no, I'm cool on that. So, you know, and at one point in time, my lovely friend here stopped talking to me. So
yeah, I mean, I'm so excited that we can get into that. And let me just say, like, during that time, honestly, I was just a shell of my dynamic personality. Although I presented well, that was just such a dark time for me as well. I miss my friends, but I knew I couldn't talk to them. Not that I knew I could not talk to them. I wanted to talk to them, but the outside forces behind it was just so strong, so incredibly strong.
Well, like I said, I'm always glad that you overcame that you came out. And like right now, like I said, the name of the show is Unbothered and Healing Out Loud. So you're on your healing journey, your soft girl era.
Yes!
So during this time, during your healing journey, what have you learned about yourself? What have you learned about Sharisse? Like, what have you inspired out of all of this? Like, what do you know now that you didn't know before?
One big thing is, for all the girlies out there, transactional love is not real love. That's step one. And I want all the girls and guys to hear me loud and clear. Like, transactional love is not real love. I was in a situation where I was not hurting for anything. I did not see a bill. I did not worry about whatever I wanted to do. It was going to be sponsored. It was going to be well taken care of. I had no doubt about it. However, what came along with it was just beyond enough to bear. And so I learned that transactional love is not the type of love for me. I also learned that I'm a strong woman. You know, I believe in being a hybrid woman, you know, alpha and submissive. But you have to have a partner that is willing to be that too, you know, who uplifts you and builds you up and things like that. Because there have been several events, several things that I had missed out because of said abuse. And very monumental things. So I don't want anyone to take me out of that light that I have. One thing that I can think about that really just struck a chord with me every time I think about it is when your mother passed away. I was over here. I had went to the farmer's market, had gotten the flowers, had spent time making the doves, the craft doves that I was going to give to you and everything else. And he would always press me like, what are you doing all that for? She doesn't mess with you. She's not your friend. She doesn't want anything from you. And I'm just like, no, this is my girl. I've known her for forever. Like, her mother passed away. I'm going to be there for her.
All right.
The night before, I got tore up. I mean, black eyes, broken nose, just the worst. To the point where I couldn't even be seen. There was no way I could have been seen. And that really bothered me because he knew how important it was for me to show up for my friends and family and to show up for my career. And he used that opportunity to not only just disrupt what I was already doing, it was already talked about, but for me to miss such a pivotal moment in your life, it really hurt me. And at the time, you know, we weren't speaking. And I understood, you know, we a lot of times, like, friends, they have to distance themselves from things that are unhealthy. And I respected that. I truly did. But in the same breath, I longed for and missed our friendship. And I knew it wasn't because there was a disconnect between us. And it was external.
Right.
But that really cost a lot. Like, even when I was working at the Ivory and I was with Miss Deb, it was like he was turning up on her. Like, he was showing up to Juan's house demanding X, Y, and Z, money, whatever, etc. Just being a bother. He was bothering me. He was bothering me. He didn't want me to shine in my own right.
But I do have a question from Instagram. Slick says, so what ended your relationship with Mr.? What was the last straw?
The last...
That was my next question.
Oh, we getting juicy.
Y'all lit. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna be authentic because I don't have nothing to hide because I'm unbothered now. The last straw was, truthfully, I was serving the Lord, heavy on it. And, you know, I was thinking like, oh, God will fix this relationship for me. I'm not going to worry about it. He's going to fix it. And I prayed. I was like, God, please show me. Let me know if he's the one or not. So, you know, as the day went on, I noticed that his temperament was getting a little crazy. And we got into a little argument. I don't even know what the argument was about. But it ended up having my head thrown through a wall, where I ended up breaking 6 vertebrae in my neck. And would you believe I did not go to the hospital? I didn't go to the hospital. By the grace of God, I stood up. I knew my neck was donezo. So I just held my head and walked to the room and laid in the bed. I laid in that bed for 2.5 months until I recovered. I called a close girlfriend of mine, Brittany. I'm not sure if she's listening or not, but she would come in, and I never told anyone about the abuse. I felt like I was too pretty, too smart, too wise to be in a situation like that. So I was really embarrassed, honestly. And so I didn't really speak too much about it. But it was after that moment I had prayed and said, you know, Jehovah God, like, if you help me survive this moment, then I'm leaving the first chance that I get. And sure enough, 2 months later, after I was healed enough, well enough, I left with no shoes on and without my daughter. I jumped in a car that my parents had gotten for me because he had all the keys to the other cars. And I jumped in that car and I went straight home to my parents. I sure did. And that for me was the defining mark in my life. That was like, you got to really take stock of what's going on around you. You got to pay attention, because there was so much that I missed out of life that I was kind of oblivious to, just trying to protect my peace, trying to make sure that home life was straight, you know, and that's what I did.
So let me ask you a question. I'm having a question. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
You said you left without your daughter.
Without my daughter, yes.
Have you gone back and got her?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Little. We call her Little.
Okay.
Little is with me.
Okay.
She's in the safety of myself and my parents and my family, my fortress.
Okay.
My girlfriends.
Well, let me ask you a question. Another question. As a child of an abused mother, because I've dealt with that to the point where one of my mother's boyfriend knocked her eye out. So let me ask you a question. Have you done anything to get her any help as far as counseling? Because it does affect the child. It may not manifest itself early, and it may not manifest itself in violence in any kind of way. My thing is I want to keep peace. So a lot of times I'm a little bit passive aggressive with things because I don't want to deal with stress. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with arguing with nobody or any of that kind of stuff. Now I am petty and I will do petty shit.
Yeah.
And maybe argue a little bit, but as far as just a outright argument, I tend to shy away from those things. So I just wanted to know because as a child, seeing those things and seeing how my mother was treated and beat and all that stuff, it did affect me. Now I'm not a beater. I don't beat on women or anything, but I think it has made it to a point to where it makes women, probably for me, women get over on me a little bit more because I don't want to go down that path, because my thought was always, I don't want to treat someone and make them feel as bad as my mother felt. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times we forget about the children, and we have to make sure that they get the assistance that they need as well, because she was affected by that just as much as you were. She may have been young, but it still affects a child a lot. So I just wanted to ask that question.
Yeah, absolutely, because I'm also a preschool teacher, private pre-K. Yeah, hi, little ones. As a mother and a preschool teacher, like knowing the effects of abuse, I immediately got her into therapy. I immediately got her into counseling. I knew that this was a bigger job than just for me, and being trained on the signs of abuse, going through training like that, and what to look for, and to see like, that fits the criteria for my child, my children. I immediately took that next step to put her into therapy, because I know that the things that happen when you're young, even in vitro, they stay with you. If your mother was depressed while she was pregnant with you, you can come out as a depressed child. So like, that's my girl. And I do get a little emotional talking about Little.
I didn't want to make you
emotional. No,
I just
you're
want
fine.
to ask the question because
got it together.
Some of us, when we get older, I'm 55, until this day, sometimes that stuff still affects me when I think back to it. Because it was not just one person, it was several different people. And a lot of times, people will say, well, why didn't you just leave? And for me, just seeing that, for my mother, when she was going through it, I believe she really thought that these people loved her. Like, she thought that leaving them would cause them not to love her, even though they were doing some of the most awful things to her physically. She actually thought in her mind that, man, he really loves me, and some people can get to the point to where they think if you don't physically abuse them, that you don't love them. So
I think that's whack.
Yeah,
and whoever is
sharing that narrative is loud and wrong.
No, I think it's just a mental thing because they're so used to being that way.
Yeah.
And generally, when the abuser abuses a person, they generally say, "Well, I love you," or whatever. Look what you made me do. So a lot of times you go through those things. You have to pull that phone over there closer to you. Let me get to a couple of comments while you pull that phone closer to you.
I'm gonna take a little sip.
The Wayne Avery show said that motherfucker should have got the Al Green treatment.
Sure.
Doing that to you, hot grits and everything.
Communications Talk Podcast. Go ahead.
How y'all doing today?
Hold on, I can't hear you. What you say?
Yeah, I said, how y'all doing today?
Good. How are you today?
Fantastic.
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, this Fat Money stuff. I was just calling in because that's a very touchy subject, and I'm glad that you're having a podcast of this nature instead of just talking heads and just relationship business is very important. So I commend the young lady. I just want to say I commend you. Thank you for being strong for yourself, and thank you for being strong for your child, because I grew up with it. and it affects the children to this day. It affected every relationship that I had. I finally got it right now, but it affected me growing up. I thought that was the correct way to treat all women, how my dad, treated my mom. So it does affect the kids, and I'm glad that you got her help and got yourself out of that situation, because it ends bad. You know what I'm saying? It ends very bad. So I just wanted to let you know I don't know you, but I'm proud of you.
Aww.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you for being a voice. Sometimes for the unheard. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate this podcast. It's very valuable. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
Well, thank you. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, yes. Just wanted to drop that note in and everything. I'm going to get back to watching you, but I had to say something about that. You know what I'm saying? I can't even cook. I had to stop cooking in order to get on this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to get back in here and listen and just keep up the good fight. You know what I'm saying? Keep up the good fight, and you'll definitely appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yes, most definitely. I'm going to get back to listening. Let's go.
All right, bye.
Yeah, that was nice. What? Senor, can you believe that?
Well, thank you to the caller that called in. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so bad with announcing the phone number. Well, we do have a call-in number. I am so sorry. I'm terrible at that. But our phone number is 678-740-9894 if you want to call in.
Right.
Tonight's subject, we are talking about unbothered and healing out loud.
Yes.
So, okay. So, now that you're on this healing journey,
Yes.
what's your go-to song to be like, fuck that nigga? Like, fuck
Baby,
that nigga about him.
I have a playlist. I have a playlist, but one song that I truly love is "Me Versus Me," Moneybagg Yo. You know, I love a little trap music. Free Pomo, Lil Baby. He said, "I lost everything, but I never lost my self-esteem. Back and forth, up and down. These streets feel like a trampoline."
Okay.
So that is always,
Okay.
I love that. I listen to a lot of SZA. There's a song called Terracotta Walls that just keeps me moving and grooving. I listen to everything. I'm still a music girly. Like, one monkey don't stop no show.
Exactly.
And I'm always going to be me. I just realized that he was not the best fit for me.
Right.
And proximity doesn't always mean that it's ordained.
Right.
And I'm just convinced that, you know, everything that I went through and grew through with him was really for my benefit. Not condoning the abuse, but the lessons that I learned from said abuse is what took me to where I am now. More confident, more healed, coming from a place of peace, not pain. It's important to me.
So look, hold on. So I got a question for you, right? I want to know this. When you called me, right? Because you had called me, right?
Yes.
What was your what was your feeling when you called me? Because I want to tell you how I felt.
Okay,
Like,
which time? Recently?
Recently, just recently, I really want to know.
Recently, I was like, let me get back to work. I have severed so many relationships, hiding my truth, hiding behind this abuse. And I was like, you know, people need to know what's tea, what happened, what's going on, how I ended up falling off of the face of the earth, like what happened.
Right.
And when I called you, Senor Parker, because you have been a day one, A1,
Right.
since 2017, 2018,
Yeah.
when I'm just being a manager, not knowing anything.
Like we done had some adventures. Like,
Exactly. So when I called you, I was coming from a place of like, thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for standing down and supporting every event that I do. Thank you for being a host. And
appreciate it.
now that I'm back, I want to make sure that we get everything that we talked about and more, and more.
Cause I'm tell you, look, when she called me, this the first thing she said, "Hey, Senor, I just left old boy." I said, "Huh?" Like I ain't know what was going on. You feel me?
Right.
She said, "Hey, I just left for old boy. Hey, and I need to talk to you." I'm like, I'm coming through some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm going through something. So I'm like, okay. So and I'm getting like signs to come back down here.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I've been down here for like about 3 days, about 3-4 days now, and everybody done hit me, but this the one right here.
That's the one.
I'm gonna tell you right here. This the one. Like she done got me in the places I had not been to. She's done like put me in rooms I was supposed to be in. I done shook hands with niggas that y'all read in books. Like I'm telling you, like this, she won. So I'm like, I really appreciate her for doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate her for just linking back up with me. You know what I mean? And I appreciate her for linking back up with you because hey, look. You already know you about to go some places. I already know that. So that ain't nothing new.
Yes, I mean, it was all love, and like there's so many people that I would love to go back and apologize, make amends for. Starting with my good girl, like we discussed earlier. Like you knew I would be there, and the fact that I could not even show up, it made me sick. I couldn't handle it. The fact that I was hiding such a big secret from you, I couldn't even take it. I felt so much remorse behind that. There was a situation where I had done a bedroom setup for Tank Bigsby. He's in the NFL now. I had did an event for Tank Bigsby, and the morning of said event, I got beat up real bad, real just terribly bad, to the point where I could not drive. My eyes were swollen shut. A lot of people will be like, "Why you stay?" But I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that later. But I do the event. I still show up because that's the type of person I am. I'm still show up. And he paid me, but was it the best event that I could have done for him? No. No, it wasn't. But that was Mr.'s MO. He did not want to see me succeed without him. He did not want me to shine without him. So back to your question, like I learned that my light is enough.
Right.
I don't need a cosign.
Right.
I love the support. I love the people who have been down with me. But if it costs me my peace, my life, or my happiness, or my career, I don't need it. And I'm not going for it.
Right.
So that's just one example of how like you can be with someone who sabotages you in a real way. And one of the things that I may say is that I'm working with an advocate because my case is still ongoing. Because it gets deep. But I'm working with an advocate, and she expressed to me like, you could be with someone for 10, 20, 30 years, and they just switch up on you. So there's no way that you could have prepared yourself, prepared your mind, prepared your family for the type of abuse that I endured. And I used to always say, "Oh, I left with nothing," which I felt like I literally left with nothing, literally no shoes. But I left with my life, and that trumps everything, because I could have been killed in that situation for sure, without a shadow of a doubt.
Slick says some people think that getting a man with money is the end all be all, but what comes with that money sometimes comes with the heavy ticket. She says, do you think that money helped you justify staying?
I don't think that it justified. I believe that we were so entangled. Our finances were entangled. At this point, I'm not in my bag. He's sponsoring my bag. And that comes with kids, family, and everything. He's sponsoring it all. I wish he would tell me no. is the type of thought that I had.
Mm-hmm.
However, as a woman who had her own things going, I thought it was a compliment, not necessarily a thing to aspire to. Because I have children, so I can't be with anybody broke. You know, but money is not the end all be all to everything. And what he showed me was not who he ended up being. Like, sis is going to be with a man with a bag. But do I check the character first now? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that it definitely hindered me from just walking out the door, because he would give me money, large lump sums, and I would save it. You know, mamas always tell you to put a little something in the cushion for a rainy day. And so that's what I would do. But there would be times where he would be like, oh, I need, 11 bands or 6 bands or however much he needs. And I was able to go in there and pull it out for him. And he would ask and I would give, because I wasn't working. I had my little business, but he always called it like a little business. It was never a brand. It was never big, and so I was having a hard time figuring that part out. Like, how do I detangle myself from the situation, knowing that I want to leave, knowing that I want to go, knowing that it's unhealthy? How do I do it? And actually, the most dangerous time is when you are about to leave. Right. I think the study is it's like maybe 80% of women pass away. 80% of men and women pass away when they're fleeing an abusive situation. Right. So it was scary. I'm not gonna act like I'm just some Teflon Don girl. I was afraid. I was afraid. And it's okay to be afraid, because that's your soul, your body protecting you from what's unnatural. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Senor.
So, what does, now that you've been through all of this and you're still overcoming?
Yes.
What would your toxic side say to yourself now?
Girl, you don't let that bag, honey. There ain't nothing you can endure. There ain't nothing you can endure. You better muscle through. That's the toxic side.
Right.
Like, the toxic side is like, you're really going to leave your stability or stability for starting over, starting from scratch. But I wasn't starting over from scratch. I was starting over with wisdom. Right. Wisdom and power. I don't think people understand how much strength it takes to walk away.
Right.
A lot of people think that, oh, something's going on, you should just leave. It's never that easy. I wish it was that easy, just to be like, oh, and I had a whole plan. I had a whole exit plan with one of my girls, Brittany. I was like, I'm going to leave when he goes to LA. I found an apartment. I had the car. I had the keys. I was set and ready to go. And he found out my plan. And when he found out my plan, and this is over the airplane, he finds out my plan. Would you believe he came home with the vengeance? Because I had to pick him up from the airport. That was his tactic. You pick me up from the airport. I'm like, okay, yes, I'll pick you up from the airport. But people don't understand that abuse is further than just the physical. It's the mental. Right. So I had to overcome that. But my toxic self would have been like, girl, you stupid. Like, everything's working out for you. Just stay with it. Things change, people change, but what Keisha Cole say? You can't raise no man? Right. I ain't finna do it. Not now, not ever.
So now, what does your positive side say to yourself now?
My positive side is saying to me, like, look at you grow. Look at you growing and glowing. You never needed anybody. It was you. You were the light. You were the direction. You were everything that you wanted him to be.
Right.
And you didn't need that. You needed yourself. You needed your friends. I am complete with my good girlfriends and my little business. I'm complete with that. I enjoy my family. I enjoy my friends. There's nothing that I can't do. And I feel such a freeing life now.
So now that all of this has happened and things like that,
Yeah.
do you still believe in love?
Girl, yeah.
Or are you like, fuck that, I'm outside. It's hot girl summer. We out here. We turning up. Like, where are you at now with far as in your life, as far as it stands to relationships? And do you feel like if you got into a relationship now you can go on? Would you see the signs now?
I'm gonna take a sip on that. What's in your let me
So look, ain't hot girls. Come on.
I'm always a forever lover girl. Step one. I will never lose that zest for love. I cannot wait to remarry. I cannot wait to be with my husband and have his babies and all of those things. I still truly want that with all of my heart. It just makes me look at the person a little bit more closely. I'm definitely outside, but I go back home. Like, we can have a time, but not too much, you know? I don't think that it limited my ability to love. It just made me more aware, because I was so used to just men treating me so nicely. I hadn't experienced someone treating me foul like that. And so I did a lot of like soul searching and like trying to trying to figure out, like, is there something that I'm doing, or is there anything wrong? What could I do more? But no, it definitely didn't stop me from wanting to be with a nice guy, a good guy, a loving guy. Oh yeah, I'm here for all love. I'm here for love. I'm a lover girl.
So can you identify the signs now? Say for instance, like somebody come up to you now and they start off talking sweet and the light don't change. and like, can you identify the signs? Like, wait a minute, this the same shit. Like, we ain't doing this.
Yes.
Are you blowing through the red light? Or?
Listen, if I have to cut over, I'm cutting over, baby, because you're not getting that number. I mean, it definitely made me more aware. Like, I guess, like my pud, she calls me green bean sometimes. Sage green to be exact. You know a little bit, but not enough. So, what I learned from that experience and through therapy, for sure. I want to give props to my therapist, Raven. She definitely helped me, first of all, form the opinion that I was going through what I was going through, because I would hang up and curse her out every time she would say some BS like that. So I'm sorry, Raven. Because you were right. It definitely gave me the clues to identify what to look for. Right. Like, now I don't go into the dating scene thinking like everybody's a narcissist, everybody's an abuser. I don't think that that's fair to myself. Right. But I do see the red flags, and yeah, like if you have an attitude raising your voice at me, you gotta go. I don't feel like I should endure that. I look at a lot about, the relationships that people have with their parents, the mother, the father, that plays a big role in people's lives and their experiences. So like I see the signs now, and yeah, I act on it now. Like it's not let's wait and see anymore. It's like, oh, there we go, gotta cut it off.
Right.
gotta make a move.
Right. Right. So what advice would you give to someone now that's currently going through a similar situation that you were in, but is afraid to speak out or walk away?
Definitely evaluate your circle. Know who you can trust, because I could trust Miss Queen Gemini. I could trust her. And there were like a handful of people that I could trust and let them know, like, hey, I am going through this. There are websites and resources out there that you can get onto that will immediately go to a different page, so that you don't have to have, like, say your partner has access to your phone or passcode. If you're on a particular website, they will block it out and send it to like YouTube, so that you're not on the site if they ever snatch your phone away. I learned the lesson of having multiple cell phones, just one in the car, one that you can quickly grab, track phones, all of that. Debit cards, prepaid debit cards, have that, for sure. Because there are abusers that can change, but the majority do not. And so for the majority, I think that it's important for you to protect yourself, find your alliance, never grow quiet. I learned my lesson of growing quiet. I was quiet. I mastered posting on social media, while I was going through difficult times where I was looking, decent enough to post, and I would take a bunch of pictures and videos, and when I was in a messed up situation or had black eyes or, teeth knocked out or something, I could post the old pictures and stuff like that. So people would never suspect anything. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just saying that if you're in it and you're unsure, have a safety net in place. I'm not a guru. I'm just a human going through this experience for the first time myself, like we all are. And the best advice I would give is keep one or two of your close friends in your pocket. They may be able to access things for you when you cannot. They may be able to help you when you cannot. And always kind of keep people aware of, like, hey, I'm here. I'm alive. Don't give up on me, because those quiet cries for help are signals. They're signals too.
Six says, being that he's unfortunately the father of your child, is that a hindrance?
A hindrance to
maybe visitation or any of that kind of stuff, that co-parenting. I don't know exactly how y'all work it out. That's really none of our business. But do you find that to be a hindrance if you have to take the child to see him or something like that? Or
well, honey, I had a judge tell me that she didn't want to sour the relationship with him and my child, which was a slap in the face to me. So I put it in God's hands. Like, I'm not reaching out to him, and he's gonna reach out to me, but I'm not answering the call. I'm gonna let the judicial system and let God do the work for me, because one, I'm not into messing up a black man's life. However, if you bring it on yourself, you have to suffer the consequences. And I never called the police. I never went to the hospital. I didn't do any of those things. But it got to a point where it was so obvious and so blatant that other people called, reported it, to the point where it was beyond my control. So I just only had to speak my truth. I had to tell the truth. And so that's what I did. So like whatever happens in the future, I pray and I know that God is going to look out for me, and he's not going to put me in a situation where, you know, I'm out of sorts, out of whack.
I'm going to disagree with you on one thing. If anybody, man or woman, is abusing you as a partner, you fuck their life up. Period.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Regardless, I don't give a fuck how you do it. You fuck their life up because they fucking yours up. So there is no quarter in war. It is all no prisoners, no nothing. This what we doing. I'm calling the police on your ass. I'm going to the hospital. I'm doing everything that I'm gonna think to do, because when it gets bad enough and you have to pull that knick-knack out, you're gonna have documentation of what happened. So I get what you're saying. But when it comes to stuff like this, I'm very, very, I'm gonna fuck your life up. Regardless, I don't give a fuck what happened. Your life is gonna be fucked up. I have the resources to do that. So And
at the time, like, let me be clear. Like at the time, that this is past tense.
Right.
Like now, we balls to the wall, baby.
Exactly. I agree. That's all I want to hear is balls to the wall.
But at the time, while I was in it, there would be times where the police would show up to my house, and there's cameras on the inside and the outside of my home, and I would tell the police, like, you know, point to the police, because I couldn't even say it audibly. Like, look around, and so that they would know. And so there was a paper trail growing without me having to do too much. Now, one thing about the 911 calls here in Georgia now is that once you call, they know your location. And
it's automatic.
And if you hang up, they're going to call right back. And I know that you can order a pizza online to the police, and they will come to your home. So if, say for instance, you get a phone call from 911, because they're going to call from like a normal area code in your city or area, you order a pizza. And how you order a pizza is they ask you, like, hey, what's going on? Hi, I need a pizza delivered to this address. Yes. And pepperonis, extra sauce, whatever. It throws your whole abuser off, but you're still getting the help that you need. And that's something that I use a lot of times while I was in my situation.
Okay.
Yeah, but
he ain't say, why the hell you ordering all these pizzas every goddamn day?
That was always a thing.
It's a lot of goddamn pizza, and they ain't showing up.
Like, what?
Where the fuck a pepperoni pizza that you ordered?
Like, I don't know. It just, I guess it was too late. I don't know what happened.
I'm telling you, this was. Hey, but look, I'm so glad that you are really moving on and moving forward, because, like, on some real, like, we really have been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? It's like I said, put me through a lot of things. So I'm just glad that you really are moving the way you're moving, you know what I'm saying? So on the real, let's go ahead and get to it for real.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
So we're gonna wrap it up. So what does the future hold for you now? Like, where do you see yourself going, and as far as yourself individually, and then as far as your business taking off? So what your little business, where do you see yourself?
Man, this little, like, how little is it?
It's a little business.
Okay.
Right.
Where I see Sharisse, the soul, the person, the being, I see myself living life, celebrating my friends, showing up for my friends in a major way, being there for my community in a major way, being there for my children in a major way, because I lost so much during that time. And just being open and loving, not closed off, not hard-hearted. I don't feel like that's for me. I feel like just being open and ready to love is important, but loving everything that I do around me. And then as far as my business, maybe I'm working. You see, I got Senior with me. I'm working with small brands in our community, giving them that luxe experience that they deserve, because all Black brands deserve to be highlighted in a major way. Still doing my events. It's a little bit more private now. I got to know who you know.
Yeah, ain't nobody. Yeah, it's all you. Praise God. Like,
yes, it's all me. All my funding, all my backing. I've been bootstrapping it. I've been doing this for real. So like with my brand and my business, it's important to me. And I think that the more I continue to focus on that and, really build what I want, it's going to happen. Like, Your Wish Sharisse events is still a thing. Yes, I work mostly with Black business owners, but yeah, you can still get a party from me. I'm just a little bit more selective now.
All right. Would you like to shout out your Instagram, your social media pages?
Yes. Okay, so you can always follow me at wish.unbothered if you want just to see me. And my events page is YWS_events. And you can check out what I'm working on, the new things that I have. I have a ebook that will be out on Friday, where you can get all of my inspirational quotes, planners, and things that kept me motivated during this time. You don't have to have gone through abuse, but you could have gone through adversity and just need a little pick-me-up. So that book will be available online. You can also book your events and parties online through YWS_events.com events. You can do all of that there. But yeah, we're out. We're open. We just did some street interviews last Friday on Edgewood. So yeah, we're working. We're busy.
Okay. Well, again, I'm guessing. I just wanted to say thank you for coming on and sharing your story. It can definitely help someone that's going through the same similar situation that you are, but just don't know how to get out or don't have the courage or the strength to make it out. And it's always important to hear other stories to just give you that little extra push, that little extra boost. Like, I don't have to sit here. I don't have to take this. I'm woman enough to say, I'm walking away. Even a man, a man doesn't have to stay in a situation if he's being abused by a female. Always know that there's always help. You can always get help. Just don't stay in that situation. Don't stay in that place, that dark place that's gonna bring you down or take you down. So again, thank you for sharing your story. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud that you were able to build up some confidence and walk away from this situation, walk away from that devil. And things like that. One thing I just wanted to elaborate on that you said earlier, you don't ever have to apologize to me about anything. Even though I was gonna stop talking to your ass, but
I would have stopped talking to me too.
But I knew that that wasn't you. So
yes.
I just don't walk away from my friends because of me. That's not ever been me. I still have a heart. I still care. And I knew something was going on, but when you were ready, I knew you would talk about it. But like I said, I'm glad you were able to walk away and stand on your own 2 feet for you and your babies and do this for you. So I'm proud of you and thank you for coming on. Would you like to shout out your social media and what you got going on?
Yes, senor, yes.
So first of all, what I got going on is what she's gonna have me going through everything. This person about to have me all over the place. So look, if you catch Sharisse, you're gonna catch me pretty much. But my Instagram and my Twitter, because black folks still call Twitter. Who calling it X? I'm not calling it no damn X. I'm sorry. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, A Mr. Parker, AYE Mr. MISTER Parker. You can follow me on all social media platforms. That's everything right there. So definitely shout out to Miss Gemini. Shout out to my girl Sharisse. I appreciate you for bringing me out here. Shout out to Misfits Radio. Hey, and I hope to see y'all again. You know what I mean? Cause look, she gonna bring me in here, sipping wine. Okay.
Love a little wine. And also I just want to say this too though. Your true friends will be there through thick and thin. And Miss Gemini is a true friend. Like, I knew that it was never the end. I knew it was a pause. And I'm so thankful that my friends, my true friends, didn't give up on me. Now there were some that, you know, were like, what did you do? How did you get in? I don't talk to them. But I know that there are roots and there are branches. And I'm gonna say Miss Gemini is really a root. And I felt that all throughout the whole situation. And I knew like I could survive this, I could get through this. And when I was ready, she was gonna embrace me with open arms, and she did. And that's how you know. Listen, guys and girls, that's how you know that you have a real friend. Someone who's not gonna judge you, someone who's gonna just be there to support you and pick you up. And I just want to say that you have always been that 10 times more and over. So I love you so much for that.
Oh, no problem. I love you too. Well, that is our time, and I thank you all so much for tuning in to Miscommunications Talk podcast. I'm your host, Queen Gemini. So please come back and visit us next Tuesday.
Yay!
Bye.
Oh, time to hit this club, y'all. Bella Flame. About to come in the club with IMG. My brothers we finna take y'all bitches. Yeah. Oh, come on. Bella, with the screen when I ain't told. About shit, BBG represent. Yeah. I need a section and some ones. And a cool boss, niggas no thugs. No. We ain't worried about nothing. Fuck nigga, we ain't worried about nothing. We don't need no security. IMG in the motherfucking building. I'm a female shot caller, top listed author. People say I'm cute and bossy. Worry about the money, never worry about a bitch. Gold brace, soft lip, thick ass and hips.